where it's make and break for a lot of these teams and players. So
for him, still not to any avail. A bit of a team pinch coming out. He finished that. Fake coming out of the kickoff. A bit of a passing play attempt. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? What a finish that was. Let's get to the top of the field. He's going to go for a bit of an aerial touch, maybe a double tap. And gets it!
Absolutely scintillating strike. Takes a 2-goal lead for his team. Once again, that is phenomenal.
I told you it was hype. I told you it was hype. £1,260 prize pool.
Right now, this right here is the pinnacle of RSC.
Welcome back to RSC and welcome to the Prospect Grand Final. I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself. I'm joined by Vector.
Oh, it's so good to be here, Boopy. I've unfortunately not been a part of the rest of the playoff brackets. I've had to wait to the grand final, but what a wait it has been. I've watched most of the matches. I watched the last one that just played, the lower final between Mages and Kindling. The fact that it went the distance did not surprise me, and I'm expecting pretty much the same from this one as well, Boopy. We've got, well, I mean, it's the first of 6 grand finals we've got coming up throughout the next few weeks. So to start off with something like this, the way that it's been going, I really cannot wait to see this.
Yeah, I mean, the way Majors played in that last kind of series, they kind of dominated the first 2 games, struggled a little bit at the end, but what an overtime we got to watch. And I think we're going to take a little bit of a look at the playoff bracket, see how these teams got to where they are. And Cardinals obviously taking the kind of upper bracket route, and Majors dropping down to the lower bracket. So they're going to need a bracket reset to be able to win this grand final. But the way they were playing in that last series is definitely on the cards.
Oh, absolutely. Cardinals, of course, taking that high road, as you said, to this grand final. Something that I expected to see. I think most people did expect to see, considering that they did end league play top of that Glaciers table, a very secure position that they had. I predicted this in my challenge bracket, and I'm assuming a lot of people did as well. Didn't expect Majors to go down to that lower bracket. That was quite a surprise, and they've had to struggle through that. They've gone through 2 best finals, so you have to start factoring in fatigue here. But, well, they're plenty warmed up, and they've been showing us just how strong they are in those difficult situations, but they haven't played a best of 7 yet. The Navarez Cardinals, have they been keeping warm, or are we going to see something special from Majors here?
Yeah, I mean, you know how these playoffs go. It's all about only having 2. They might be coming into this one a little bit cold, but Majors, especially after that overtime in the last series, they're definitely going to be warm coming into this one. And it's going to be a pretty big series. I'm kind of hyped for it.
Absolutely, as am I, of course. This isn't league play anymore. We are past that. This is a different set of dice. This is Elimination Rocket League. It's completely different. But if we wanted to talk about consistency, for one example, Majors have never gone below 3rd in Ignis throughout league play, throughout those 9 weeks. But Cardinals have gone down to 4th. They were there for quite a while, in fact, for about 4 weeks, and then consolidated that towards the end of league play. But that could be something that we'll see to the start of this series here. In the very first game of the grand final, it will be a best of 7. We've had best of 5s throughout the entire evening, but this is where it gets tense. This is clutch time, Boopy. You've got to win at least 4 games over your opponent, and I'll have to see how that goes, because Majors have had to go the distance quite a bit, and Cardinals probably looking to make sure they don't have to do the same.
Yeah, Cardinals are going to be looking to get this game out the way early, try and take it in the first series, but Majors, they've been fighting their way through that lower bracket all day, and they're already throwing a few shots on target. One coming in from the Cardinals, Dehydration, dropping it down to the box, finding the backboard, and Dioga is up but gets beat out, and that's just left there for Pure Skills. Pure Skills can't find it round Speedy. Dehydration up. Trying to keep this attack alive, but Flew finding it to the side. It's in the box. Pure Skills going for the challenge. It gets cleared away. And nothing found so far, but...
Extremely high scoring throughout league play. One might expect this to be a bit of a strike fest. Both sides getting plenty of goals. The chance here for Highvis. Didn't quite find the angle that he's looking for. And coincidentally enough, Highvis himself being one of the highest rated players in the prospect tier. 1220, I believe, on the tier list. Top 5. So, one of the best players we've seen in prospect so far. And it makes sense that he's in the final. Makes sense that it's these two teams, in fact, Cardinals and Mages, both at the top of their respective conferences, and it's exactly a kind of matchup that I was hoping to see, expecting to see. Just not quite yet finding a goal 2 minutes in. Both trying to figure each other out. It's a long series to go, Boopy. It
definitely is. They need to kind of figure out each other's strategy and find a way to counter it, and with a shot coming in from Saiso Speedy. Saved out by Highvis. And a wonderful use of the space he was given there, but a passing play into Pure Skills, defended. And Highvis finding the corner, Pure Skills finding it into the middle, and Highvis is there. And the first goal of the grand final, it goes the way of Cardinals. And what a passing play coming out from these guys.
A cheeky little 1-2, flies across the goal line off that corner. Exactly the kind of passing you want to be seeing from potential champions, of course, the champions of their conference. Something that probably done plenty of throughout league play. Pure skill and Highvis, but this one's dropping down for Seiso, tries to get a shot across, ends up just glancing it wide, and not much more pressure from the Mages. A little bit here from Fluster, tries to get control of the ball, just pops it to that backboard for Highvis to clear. Does manage to get a second touch. He might have messed up his teammate. Dehydration committed early, and it's past the third man, but then Yoga gets demoed out, and pretty much everything from the Mages offense gets taken away there, and then now Demo in the midfield. They're definitely sitting back quite a bit. There's a lot of physical play going on, something I didn't actually expect to see, but the fact that they're sitting back, not wanting to commit too many players to whatever offense, like we said, probably just trying to figure each other out, but Cardinals taking that early lead, they pretty much have complete control of this and not wanting to risk that Mage's counterattack.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the first game, and everyone wants to play defensive, but a whiff coming out. Oh. Diego finding the backboard, and a chance open for the Mages. They could not capitalize on it. But as we were saying, because it is the first game, both these teams want to play a little bit defensive, just kind of work out the strategies of the other team and just play a little bit safer than the games coming forward. But Diego finding it round one, finding it to Speedy. A little bit of a mistouch. Flu finding it to the corner. Dehydration is there to shut down the chance, and he's going to try and take it over the other defender as well. Flu is there again, can't find the touch. And Highvis with a lot of space to work with. A demo in the midfield and a pass. Dehydration. And these passes coming out from the Cardinals really are helping out their offense.
Happens once again, passing is the way forward. If you can get the ball to move so much faster than any other car can on the field, it's exactly the kind of play that wins you championships, and right now that's exactly what they're doing. They've done it late in this game, as we said, just trying to figure out what Mages are made of, what they've got to bring to the table. But Highvis levels a shot straight at the net, gets a double tap opportunity, read it perfectly well, but then just angles his car a little bit off the mark and finds the ball into that corner, which it still currently is. Mages get a little bit of time on the ball here. Seisu does well to get it past the first man. To create offense on his own. His team really hasn't followed up with him, and it's a free clear for Dehydration. And every single time this happens, every single time that attack breaks down for the Mages, it's more time wasted, more chances spurned. But Seiso, again, doing it all himself, doesn't quite have the boost to get more from that. But he's having to go against that entire offense on his own in pretty much 1v3 situations, and that's just not really something that's going to work against the Cardinals, especially with their defensive record. But this time, it almost gets broken. I genuinely thought it was going to be cast a curse, but they somehow take it off the line, and they're probably looking to win the first game of the series.
I mean, he magically scurries that one clear. No kind of attacker there to deal with that one. And it is potentially going to end in a 2-0 game for the Cardinals, coming out strong in this game one, taking the first game in a pretty solid fashion. It was a slow start for both these teams, both just trying to figure out how each other play. But Cardinals definitely on top, and you can already see those passing plays they're making are going to be a headache and a nightmare for the Mages to deal with.
It seemed like a purely professional performance. Something that obviously Cardinals didn't want to risk it.
Down into that lower bracket. And having to play all those games, it must have kind of shook them a little bit. But they still have kind of 6 more games of play here to kind of figure out what they want to do. And at the moment, the offense from the majors, it kind of all looks like a one-man offense. It's just one man pushing up, trying to take it around everybody. And there's no real team play involved. No real passing plays involved. So Cardinals definitely looking like the stronger offenders so far, and they're going to go on the attack, find the backboard. It is going to bounce away. The Pure Skills following it up. Flu taking it round. Pure Skills trying to find it mid. For his teammate. Dehydration with the clear to the side. Trying to take it over Speedy, the last defender. He takes it over him. Everyone scurrying back. Flu just getting it clear. Pure Skills is there. Once again, trying to find it mid. Dehydration taking it over one of the defenders. Trying to 50 it, but it goes away off Mages. And Pure Skills, again, just always trying to start an attack against these Mages side. But a double demo coming out from Speedy. Back-to-back demos. Maybe opening a chance for them, but again, bouncing down for Pure Skills. Speedy just can't get the touch. But again, just a little bit wide and nothing found so far. But a shot coming in. Hitting the crossbar again, and just not the follow-up to deal with it.
That was a clever little snapshot from Dehydration. Edge of the box, no one expecting him to shoot from that angle, the way that his car was positioned, but just denied by the woodwork alone. The defense was not going to be there, and it comes back to that in regards to the way that Mages seem to be playing offense so far. Just that solo kind of play can be effective. It's just if it's not consistent, if they are knocked on confidence, if what we're talking about was right, then that can translate to the way that they play. And because Cardinals play so much like a team, because they play quite close together. Taiso gets a shot, and Pure Skill flips early, expecting this to have actually a bit more power. And Mages open the scoring in the second game. Didn't take them long in the lower final, scoring 8 goals before kindling their opponent even managed to get one, but now finding one against Cardinals. A very important goal for them to take this early in the series.
Yeah, Mages putting the first one on the board for them in this grand final. And taking the lead for the first time, maybe kind of rocking the confidence of Cardinals just a little bit, showing they are still here to play, they are still here to win everything, but the defense holding up so far. Speedy with a shot into Pure Skills. The save does come through. Another shot to answer. Flu with the 50, and that's just going to ping away into the hands of Speedy. He gets it over one of the defenders, and Flu is there to kind of work with this chance. Dropping it mid. Dehydration, taking it round. And Speedy trying to find it into the box, trying to get a shot on. Hyvis again there to block it. Flu is there again, and it is heading into the box. But so many attacks are coming in from the corners, but these Cardinals, the Cardinals team, they're just defending the corners so well. And every time it tries to go mid, there's just a defender in their way.
I think they're quite used to it because of the way that teams such as this tend to play. They trust the rotation on offense just as much as defense. Almost gets this one through. It took a triple commit. And Mages hang on to that fragile lead, and they're getting in each other's way. Seiso and Dioga just drove into each other. They somehow managed to get back to this. I'm not sure if it was on target, but leaving so much space for Cardinals to work with. It's dangerous every single time we see it. I've just taken his time. Good play from him. Didn't quite have the boost. It's shot down to Fluster. Gives possession away, and 2 Cardinals players are up the field. Pure Skill doesn't get a touch on this one. He's managed to get back to it and allows Dehydration to pass to the mid. It's just a shot straight on target. No one was back post. Thankfully for them, it was wide, but this one from Hyvis will be shot on target. And Fluster just about keeps it away. It's enough, Boopy. The defense is enough, but every single time Cardinals come up the field, I expect them to get a shot on target, and eventually one will go in.
Yeah, the defensive Mages not looking too confident, but they are able to kind of scurry these saves and clear the ball away. And there's only 50 seconds left now. They just need to hold on to the lead, but as you mentioned, it is a fragile one. Only 1 goal needed from the Cardinals, and they need to get this ball clear. Pure Skills getting a touch onto the sidewall, trying to find it mid. Hyvis was up as well. Little bit of a double commit, hit to the corner. And a whiff coming out from the defense, but it could be a chance for a counter. Fluster just there to take it to the corner. Dehydration just keeping the ball in play for them. Takes it up the wall. Trying to start something into the midfield. Pure Skills is there. A shot coming in. Fluster again there to save it away. High Vis with another shot. And Speedy just kind of deading that one. Taking it to the corner. Just buying the time enough. And maybe it is enough for Mages to take this game number 2.
It's still alive as Dehydration keeps it up, has a little bit of boost, puts it down to Pure Skill, can't quite find the pace to get under that ball and attempt a shot on target. And Mages just about clinched this second game, a crucial one for them, you have to say. And they're just not used to this, having to go against the defense such as Cardinals. They're used to scoring so many goals in the series that they are. Well, to be honest, in fact, Cardinals have scored far more in league play. It's got about like 220 odd, something like that, and Mages didn't. Against a side such as this, I think it's starting to frustrate them a little bit. They're having to adapt.
And they gave the game to Mages to kind of equalize this series. And Mages going to start off strong with the kickoff. Instantly on the backboard. Hive is with the width. Fluster's up. Diego can't just dunk it in. Speedy's up again in the box. But the clear comes out and already a flurry of attacks coming in from the Mages.
Just the ladder of shots. The first one straight from the ground. It eventually went up and up to the backboard. Bounced off again for Seiso to take a shot. It got higher every single time. It got harder to find that angle. But they just about hang on. Seiso gets a beautiful dunk over the first man. Dehydration reads it well enough, and Diogo keeps the attack alive straight across the front of the goal line. But rotation a little slow on offense for Mages. They can't find that third man shot. And it's never something you want to have to rely on, because it leaves that backfield open, leaves you vulnerable. Pure Skill through the corner, decides to leave this one for Hiviz, gets possession, just a little bit heavy of a touch, and it allows Seiso to clear it back, but just going back and forth. It's not quite Ricochet Rocket League, Boopy, but the way that both teams are kind of giving up possession makes me for them. But I've got to remain impartial, because Cardinals defense is falling apart, and I don't want to curse them.
Yeah, the defense falling a little bit into disarray there. Pure Skills finding the backboard, passing it off to the attack. And Mages taking the lead for the second time in the series. And the last time they did so, they did end up kind of clutching it out and taking the game. But Cardinals are definitely going to have something to say about that. And a shot coming in already from Dehydration. An instant answer from the Cardinals. And a backflip from Fluster. Kind of giving a chance away to this Cardinals side to take the lead right back.
Fluster looking really quite flustered there as Dehydration takes a goal. 274 points already for him. Now Hive is off the kickoff. It's going over Diogo, but he just about manages to get back to that a little quicker than his opposition. Pure Skill forces double commit. Now it's a triple commit in that midfield. Mage's not getting punished for it. I don't think Cardinals expected it at all. Passing field is not found by anyone but Hiviz, who just levels it straight at the first man. It drops into the midfield again for Pure to take a shot at. Seiso says no. And Fluster back through the corner again. It's the opposite side this time. Dehydration is already on the goal line. Hiviz takes a shot, plants it bottom left corner past two defenders. And this is the Cardinals that we've come to know. That passing play, when they get through to that midfield, when they've got someone there, it was a little risky and they did almost collide, but when that rotation starts to ramp up a bit, once the speed gets there, the Mages just can't handle it.
Yeah, these Cardinals, they're so quick on their feet with these attacks, and when you're launching, and Fluster's going to take one right off the kickoff, not the way you want to give a goal away. Very unfortunate. I mean, they had to work so hard for that goal, and they've just given it right back into the hand of the Mages.
Sometimes you can be too fast, Boopy. They were too quick on that kickoff, slammed it against their own wall. And they see that lead lost. 2 minutes in now, it's really starting to go through the gears. Two quite low-scoring games in the first two, and now two for both sides. I'm expecting quite a few more by the looks of things. This one opens up through midfield. Diogo kind of pinches it out of his own possession, and then Dehydration attempts to pass to Pure Skill. I think expecting Hiviz to be advancing there. It's ended up in the blue corner. 50'd on, but no one else left to follow it as Seiso had already rotated. And I think I'm looking at Cardinals coming out of defense. They seem like they want to go for those double touches where they take one up on the aerial, they get back to the ball themselves and beat out that first or second man on the opposition side, but they just don't seem to have the composure for that or the speed for it sometimes. And is that a little risky, using all that boost to attempt to keep the ball close, or Mages not taking those exploits as well as it could be?
Well, I think they've got to use all the space they're given and all the space they have to work with, and keeping it close definitely helping them out in some aspects, getting some dribble plays going. But Fluster getting the clear out to Dehydration. Dehydration just dropping it down back to Fluster. And Hive's art but called off it by Pure Skills. Found into Seiso Speedy. Seiso Speedy gonna try and take it over Hive's, and it's on target. And Dehydration just can't get back for it. And Mages are gonna take the lead back once again. And a little bit of a risky kind of overcommit there from Dehydration.
Yeah, but living up to his namesake, Seiso is very speedy on that area. We've been seeing him do that the entire series, really. Going for that solo play, this time through the midfield. Managed to get something out of it, but he gets demoed here. Diogo has to react very quickly to High-Vis's dribble and does well enough. This is missed by Pure Skill. It's a free shot for Fluster, who goes underneath the ball, and Seiso comes to pick up the pieces. Gets it through to only the corner. High-Vis was already up the field, but Pure Skill misses his intended target. It drops back down. Another shot opportunity, and it's saved, but then it bounces back off of a red player. They lose the lead that was so important to them this late in the game, and High-Vis takes his brace. Oh, it came off the post.
Oh, such an unfortunate one for the Mages, but time and time again, they just have all these players front post, and they don't have anyone back post to really deal with the save. And even if the save does come out, if you have so many people front post, you're bound to hit one of the players that's kind of in the way of the clear.
I think it was the same. I think he hit it into the post, and it hit him again and went into the net. From the way that I saw it, but I mean the issue there was that they just didn't challenge. They saw it dropping down, and it's like they were all ball watching. I didn't see High-Vis going for the shot, but Diogo with a shot of his own. Seiso set it up, forced one of the players to commit, and may just go right back up the field, retake that lead. I think Dehydration expecting that shot to be on target, but then just panic on the goal line, and may just see themselves up with a late lead here in this third game. Exactly the place they want to be.
Yeah, a little bit of disarray for the defense, and giving Mages the opportunity to get that lead back once again. And the third time they're taking the lead in this game, surely they can't kind of give these goals away again. But the attacks still coming in from the Mages. High-Vis is there, can't find the touch. Dehydration is there to cover, but just passes it to Fluster.
No.
Another goal for the Mages. A 2-goal lead now, Vector. Only 20 seconds. Can you really see a comeback coming in?
It's really tough to say. With 20 seconds left, I would expect it from maybe an elite or a Premier level team not to put down each other. It's just with the way that Mages have been defending, it's been a little bit better compared to Cardinals. They still have a chance, but the team plays take a lot more time to set up than solo stuff, and that's what Mages have been proficient at this game. Of course, every single player getting an assist for one of the goals that have gone in, but it will be Mages to take game 3 and continue on through this series in stride. Of course, they are coming from that lower bracket. Even if they win this series, they will have to do it all over again in a bracket reset, which is, it's difficult enough the first time, but it just gets harder and harder the more that you have to play. And as I mentioned before, 18 games played before they got to this grand final. They must be quite tired by now, Boopy.
Yeah, they must do. They've got to kind of find the energy in them to even be able to get to the bracket reset itself. But so far,
being the top of their conferences, being the best of the best, now we have to decide between them. Somehow we have to split them apart. Mages bouncing back from that first game loss was quite a statement to make. Now it's Cardinals' turn to do so, otherwise they will find themselves on match point. It's Diogo going up for this one, does not quite get what he's looking for. High-Vis tries to clear it out, but just sends it to the sidewall for Seiso to go for a fifth. in cruel. Work for mages, or are they just not consistent enough at it?
I'm sorry, I did not hear your question. The Discord keeps kind of cutting out and cutting in. But either way, I think this game is so important for the Cardinals to take. They've got to even up the score, and they're going to take the first goal in this game at number 4, and they're going to give themselves the lead.
I'll ask again, Booby. Hopefully this time you can hear me without those technical difficulties. From what I could see, it seemed like mages were going for mechanical stuff, double taps, flip resets, going up in the air, using all that boost. Is that something that could be effective for them, or is that a bit of a pipe dream? Is it a little too ambitious for this level of play? Generally, it's not that consistent for them, and it uses a lot of boost, wastes a lot of positional play especially. Is that something that's dangerous for them going forward?
Well, it has to be a little bit risky, but it all depends on the backboard defense of the Cardinals. If they can kind of shut down all these chances coming in, then it's way too risky. But if that backboard's open, you might as well try and go for the double touch. And even if you can't get it, it's going to be dropping down in the box for your teammate anyway, and you're going to be faking out the defense. So it's all really down to the Cardinals if they let that work. They need to get a player up on the backboard, shut everything down, and kind of give themselves a little bit of an easier time.
Generally rare occurrence in the prospect here, seeing mechanics like that. It's going off the ceiling, it's going to drop down, and it's in the back of the net. Nothing that the last man could do about this one. I think, was that a pinch between Diogo and Hiviz? That's just unfortunate. I've had that happen to me a few times in the league this season. It's never fun to watch flying to the back of your net, knowing you can do nothing about it. But Cardinals happy to take a goal however they can get one. Fighting back now, down in the series, up in this game 4. Dehydration over 1. As I was interrupted on my point by an insane pinch there from the other side of the field. Mechanics just generally not something we see in Prospect. When it happens, it's absolutely insane, and generally the defense isn't ready for it. Another pinch! No way!
No.
This is not going! Boopy, no! What? It's Hiviz and wait, no, I thought it was Hiviz and Diogo again, but this time it's pure skill. They're just scoring from the other side of the field. This is instant offense from defense, literally one side of the field to the other. This is nonsense.
I couldn't believe it happened the first time, but for it to happen again, and to the same team, the Majors have to devastated after that one. Just 2 goals they could not really do anything about, and giving a 3-goal lead now for Cardinals. And nothing really threatening has come in from the Majors so far. They haven't had many threatening chances in this game. And we are approaching or passing the halfway point. They have to kind of pick up the pieces now, get a few shots on, get a few goals, because they really are on the back foot in this game 4.
I mean, there I was talking about how rare mechanics are in the Prospect here, and then that happens. That never happens. That is almost unprecedented. Twice in a row in the same game, and now pure skill. Attempting to make it 4. I think actually might have been looking for a pass. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, when those things happen to you as a team, Majors must be thinking, the world's just against us. It's just not our day. Of course they are up in the series, so they can be happy about that. But if those things keep happening, I mean, every great team needs a bit of luck. They need situations like that and events like that to happen for them to win. Majors just hoping that it happens to them. A bit of karma come their way. They've fought tooth and nail to get here. Now they don't want things going against them, so a little bit of voodoo from the pyromancers might be exactly what they need. We'll have to see how they respond.
We definitely will, and still no threatening chances coming in. The defense from Cardinals too strong, and it only leaves them a minute now to find 3 goals, which is very, very kind of big thing to ask, especially in the tier of Prospect, where you need a little bit more time to kind of set up those attacks. But Diego going to try and take it down too speedy. A whiff coming out from Hiviz. It's going to find its way to dehydration. A shot coming in. I thought it was just off the post, but it bounces post and in. And the first one on the board for Majors. And 50 seconds left. It's definitely not all but over. There definitely is still the chance for the comeback.
I just realised I made the mistake of calling them the Pyromancers. That is indeed not their name. It is the Mages. I was trying to say the franchise name. A little bit of dark magic. That's exactly what they've done. Found a goal off that post. Exactly what they were looking for. Pure skill. Attempted to make this one all but impossible to come back from, but a little bit more time in the wrong half of the field for them to do so. So drops it down to Diogo. A little bit too slow, and Pure skill himself doing all this himself, keeping the red side pending. Now Hyvis wanted to defend a little bit, goes back, waiting for that shot, but So misses it, and Fluster himself attempts to get the ball, and I believe that my game has crashed, Poopy, so you're going to have to carry on for me.
Well, the Mages are still kind of battling out, but
Can't handle it.
Back into the half of the Mages. Cardinals trying to start an attack of their own, but a whiff from the last defender. And they just scurry back to get that one clear. No one from the Mages able to deal with it, and it is going to drop. Cardinals taking game 4, and they equalize the series 2 apiece. And Vector has lost connection. It's just popped up in the chat. We've had many unfortunate things happen in this game, namely those 2 pinchers from the Cardinals. But they kind of hold their lines. They take the game, and they make it 2-2 in the series.
It's inevitable, let's be honest. Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will indeed, and that's just what we're played with sometimes, Boopy. But thankfully, we've got fantastic Rocket League to ease the pain, and now Cardinals matching up the series. It's exactly what they need. Both teams on 2 games, and they've had quite an extended break now. Whether or not it affects their mentality, Mages have fought long and hard to get here, and that could have given them a little bit of a break, a little bit of time to reset, but both sides in the same situation. We'll just have to see which can bring themselves back, fire up quicker than their opponents. But it's been a topsy-turvy kind of day, Boopy, and that may be the way that the rest of the series goes.
Yeah, absolutely may be, but Mages starting off on the attack. Diego going for the 50-50ing it past the second defender. Speedy is up, but cannot find the touch. Pure Skill going to try and start an attack of his own, but instantly shut down. And Dehydration not getting the touch he may have wanted. Speedy, again, just kind of pushing forward, keeping the attack alive. And Fluster, again, just trying to keep it in this box. Mages with a shot coming in. Dehydration, getting the save, getting the clear away. A miss coming in from the Mages. And they will allow to get that one clear. Pure Skill going for the 50. Going into the midfield. Hyvis is there, going for the shot, and it's going to go in. And the first goal on the board for Cardinals in Game 5.
Not only the first goal, the first ever shot they've had. This is the first time they've been on offense in this game. Obviously, it's only been 1 minute and 10 seconds, but Mages have been on the offense for all 70 seconds of this 5th game, and they didn't manage to get anything. Only 1 shot out of it, and then Cardinals has come back on their own, and again another one from Hyvis. Fluster misses this one in the midfield. It's just a little bit of a pop shot. Didn't expect this one to go in whatsoever, probably. But no one back on the line. So expecting his teammate to get a touch, and it seems like Cardinals have come out of the gate quick after that extended break.
Yeah, after an extended break like that, it's just kind of who warms up quicker, and at the moment it's definitely Cardinals, as they look like they're going to kind of go for the 3rd one. Not quite, but it is still in the box. Hyvis up, can't find the touch to put it on target. Fluster trying to find it over Dehydration, but again in the box. Diago there. So Speedy finding it around Pure Skills and breaking free. And Diego there trying to find it to Fluster, but can't quite. A little bit of a mistouch. Finding the corner. Hyvis is there just to shut it down. And clear this one away. Speedy is up for that one. Pure Skill getting the clear to the corner. Fluster can't find the touch. Diego is trying to start anything he can. Speedy is up, finds the backboard, but the defense well equipped to deal with it. A fake coming in. Speedy is there to get the save. And Pure Skills has a little bit of a crack at the goal, but defense once again quite well equipped to deal with that one. But it's very back and forth. It's a little bit of a stalemate, but it's definitely going to favor this Cardinals side. They have the 2 goals they need. They've just got to hold on to it.
This is really what we probably expected to see after a situation like this. Obviously, it's a mental test, psychological test for these players. Having to wait for this long, the situation has not happened at least not nearly to this extent in the RSC, as far as I'm aware. At least certainly not this season. But Cardinals have come back strong, and this one a shot from pure skill, just left with plenty of time. Weak touch there into the corner, which bounces up for a free shot, and it just seems like it's got to Mages a little bit. They're probably quite tired at this point of the night. How much Rocket League they've played, fatigue is absolutely a factor. And they've come out cold, and as you said, it was just a little bit of a warm-up game in this 5th one, but they have to start playing right now. Oh my goodness, Diogo gets that off the crossbar, attempting to bring himself back into this one. Cecil gets a nice double tap, forces the double commit on the line, and they recycle it to that 3rd man. Fluster gets a demo on the 2nd, tries to get it across. Diogo trying to go for a doomsy dish. Probably should have gone for the passing option to say so, but as a result, they do not find anything from that offensive stint, and Cardinals get to go back on the push on that counter. But from what I've seen from Mages, it's generally they're doing things that Cardinals really don't expect. There's a few double commits here and there when they're not expecting them to happen, when they're going up the field and wanting to get a shot. They don't know where they're exactly supposed to be, and the comms is probably going to be damaged based on what's been going on throughout the evening, so that'll be a factor. But this one, dehydration, it's happened again, Boopy. They get a ridiculous pinch, wasn't quite from across the field this time, but it's led to a 4-goal lead for Cardinals and a very tough road back.
Yeah, so unfortunate for the Mages. I mean, they already had that last game, which we saw before the break, with the 2 pinch goals going in their net. They have another one in this one, giving Cardinals the 4-0, and Cardinals definitely the stronger team after that extended break, but it is to be expected. They took the first game in the series, but Mages did bounce back, so there is still time for them to bounce back in this series. But if Cardinals are going to be taking this game, they will be taking match point, and they will be kind of threatening elimination of Mages. Diego trying to get the clear out. Speedy finding it over one of the defenders, but dehydration is there. Diego with a shot. High-vis will be able to block it. And Speedy is there, passes it kind of to himself, up the wall, trying to get this mid. It gets to 50, it drops down in the box and a whiff, but faking out Fluster. The shot comes in, and at least one consolation goal on the board for the Mages.
Yeah, something they'll definitely be happy to take. Diogo just waiting in that midfield. Hy-Vee is getting a little bit too skittish there, a little bit too quick for the ball, just flies under it, and you might have thought that with that break, with the ability to calm down, to reset their mental, to forget about the things that didn't go their way in the 2 games that they lost, they might have come back swinging into this one with a fresh perspective, a fresh take on things. But Cardinals doing what they do best, score a lot of goals. They do get another chance. Diogo, great pass into the mid, he forces a double commit on that left-hand post, doesn't get anything for it, and it's going back up the field. Plenty of time for Cardinals to figure out how to find their 5th, but it's shot straight back across the field, and Pure Skills has to rotate. Fluster and Diogo double commits to the crossbar again. Dehydration gets a touchdown. It's going to be Fluster to put away the 2nd goal. Probably, as you said, a consolation at this point. 1 second is just not physically possible to score 2 goals and bring him to that overtime, but finding at least a couple goals will give them some confidence going into that 6th game.
Yeah, definitely. They want to kind of get the momentum in their favor at the end of the game, just to kind of prove to themselves they can still take this, they can still take the games, and they are still a strong team. And they have scored 2 goals at the end there. They have a little bit of momentum going into that game 6, and potentially it will go their way a little bit better than this one. But we saw that in the game 1 of this series. Cardinals took it, I think it was 4-2 as well, and Mages really stepped up in the game 2. So maybe this next game is where they're going to
focus on that play style. It could really work out for them because, as we mentioned before with Cardinals, they're heavy on team play. That means they play quite close together. So if 2 players go for it and they don't get the ball, if they make a mistake, which is entirely possible, these are the kinds of players that have that lack of consistency sometimes. Then we could see Mages start to exploit that, but they've got plenty of mistakes of their own to start fixing.
Yeah, and one coming out earlier, pass down to Dehydration. The bump kind of saves them on that one. Diego 50 in that one. Fluster will get his hands on it, and a redirect on target, and it's going to go in. What a play from the Mages, and exactly what they needed to get themselves back into this series.
It's absolutely exquisite. That was like a major level goal, the way that they passed it up the field, and he turned into that just to flick it on off his hood into the back of the net. Hive is not expecting that one whatsoever. Not ready for it, and Mages take an important lead. The Cardinals ever happy to go up the field and attempt these long shots. Hive is one of his own. I think he wanted to get back to the ball, but this is a miss by Fluster. Pure Skills to the crossbar. Hive is going to be there. Did Pure Skills just take that off the line? I don't know if that was on target, Moopy.
I don't think it was. I think it was hitting the post, but that was so close from Cardinals, but nothing found. But then again, 4 minutes left and only a 1-goal lead isn't going to favour Mages too much, but Speedy looking to make that a second one. Is blocked out by dehydration. And Fluster up so early for that one. 2 of the Cardinals players committing, but Hivers is there back. The 50 coming through. And Diego is there trying to drop it to Speedy off the ceiling, but just behind him. And Pure Skills will be trying to kind of growl on the edge of the box here, try and get something going for this Cardinals side. They haven't scored yet in this game, and they want to be finding one pretty soon.
We've already had 4 shots of Fluster with another one here, just about taken off the line by Hives. And the fact that they aren't scoring nearly as proficiently as they did in the last game and throughout the series and the games that they won, of course, it did kind of make me feel like the scoreline flattered them ever so slightly in the last game. It was just a simple miss by Fluster as the first man that allowed Hives to score. It was a bit of an open net, but this one wasn't, and Dioga with a perfect pre-flip. Well, not quite a pre-flip, maybe just a flick here. Another one passed down. He has to do a lot more for this one than he did for the first. Tips it straight over that last man. Taking that 2-goal lead is so important. It puts Cardinals in such a pressured situation that they have to adapt to. And now Mages the ones at the reins, wielding some of that dark magic, going through this corner, not getting much from it. And that counterplay isn't really something we've seen all that much from Mages through the series. So the fact that they're starting to lean into that a little bit now, maybe start to get that physical game going. I don't think Cardinals have much of an answer.
They don't at the moment, and it's all kind of coming out from the Mages, and they keep attacking. Diago again, 15 it mid. Fluster is up, and what a shot from Fluster. Kind of slots that one all the way home. The power on that one, there's no way that anyone's going to be able to save that one away.
Finally, a bit of fortune for the Mages, that 50 going their way. Just popping into the midfield instead of flying towards their own net. And Fluster comes flying in to finish that sublime strike off. Unstoppable, as you said, a little bit too much power. Now Diogo continuing again. Gets this through the corner. Fluster gets a little bit too ambitious with that play. I think maybe attempting a double tap off the back wall. The Cardinals are so penned in right now. They're not wanting to counter at all. They've just had to send 2 players to double commit, and all they got out of it was a weak 50. Fluster with a free shot, not much power on it. Slow roller along the ground, and this does give Cardinals a chance to counter. Dehydration has a little bit of boost, trying to get that 50 over Dioga. Does manage it, but only to the corner. Now Seiso on a quick counter. Hives misses. Dioga's already up the field. He's not going to get a touch, but Seiso will! And a 4-goal lead for Mages. It's gone the complete opposite way, Boopy. The tables have been turned, and this is exactly what you want to see from the top 2 teams in Prospect.
It definitely is, and they're kind of taking back-to-back games at the moment. And Mages definitely on top in this one. They couldn't score many goals in the last game, but 4 on the board. And still no answer from the Cardinals. Another shot coming in. Pure Skills just getting the save. And Diago trying to find the double touch off the backboard, and he does it. You were asking me, Vector, should they really be using the backboard to attack? Well, I think you have your answer now.
That's quite a callback, Boopy. That felt like a lifetime ago that I mentioned that. We're talking about how Mages doing solo play. They're going for mechanical stuff, flip resets, double taps, potentially. And now Dioga does one to take that hat-trick. Excellent finish. That's just exactly what they need. They need that confidence. Fluster here missing on the line. Does not get punished. Pure skill. Does pop it up for Hives to take a shot and does take it over 1, and it's over 2. And whilst this is now a 4-goal game, Cardinals have still got something left to say. Still time to go for a finish. We can't put it past them. They scored 4 in that last game. That's exactly what we can expect to see from them. It's just whether Mages start to slow down a little bit. I still think they should lean into that offensive play style. Get more goals instead of trying to kind of park the bus and stop Cardinals from shooting, because it just doesn't work most of the time.
Yeah, that shot was placed perfectly as well. Kind of a slow looper over the defense and a really tight angle. Speedy up for the dunk. Can't find it. Diago finding it off the sidewall. Pure Skills is there for the clear. Trying to 50 his way into the box, but Ivor's finding the backboard. Fluster up early to deny that. And Dehydration taking it around one of the last defenders. Speedy is there. Diago to the side. Pure Skill is there, but the dunk from Speedy saving them out. Ivers gets bumped away. Diego going for the 50. And it's landing in this Cardinals half now. And they really want to be getting this clear. They want to get a few more goals on the board. It may be very, very difficult to come back from this one. But either way, you still want the momentum on your side going into the next game.
So they do not only want it, you need it, as Dehydration attempts to find Cardinals second through the midfield, but Mage has been shutting everything down. They've really been closing that space. This one a rare occurrence. Diogo doesn't manage to get back to it, not enough pace for Cardinals. They get a few shots leveled at the net, but they've been so diligent with their third man play, always ready for the next shot to come, always expecting it, and always with plenty of boost. So the boost game is working. This one's dropping down, but Hyvis to try and stop it, and Diogo does manage to get the dunk, and Say So will pick up the pieces, take his brace, and take 6 goals for Mages after having lost horribly in their last game, and takes us all the way to game 7 of this first best of 7. Possibly a reset. Voopy Mages are on the up and up. Is this what we want to see from them? I mean, Diogo's been just weaving wonders for this side. Look at his contributions. 3 goals, 2 assists, 2 saves. Absolutely perfect performance from him in a clutch situation.
Yeah, he's been doing mad stuff for the Mages, scoring half their goals just kind of single-handedly. And it all comes down to this last game. The series, so far, it's kind of been going game for game. Mages will take one, Cardinals will take the next. So the way you kind of see this going by repetition is Cardinals,
we will end right here after this 5 minutes. Game 7 in the Prospect Grand Finals of Season 8. Cardinals versus Mages. Mages just fighting to prove that they deserve a chance to win this series. Having to do it all over again if they manage to beat Cardinals once, but they're all wanting to go to bed, Boopy, so Cardinals fighting as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, Cardinals need to be taking this game. I mean, they have a little bit of kind of a relief that if they do drop this game, they have a second tournament live. They have a second chance to beat this Mages side. But, you know, that's another 7 games away. They definitely want to be taking it here and now. And a few early chances for them. A pass down. Speedy is there, denying the passing kind of lane. Dehydration, only finding Diago. And it finds Speedy in the mid, but cleared away to the side. And Diago leaving that one. Fluster trying to get a pass over to Speedy once again. Ivers trying to get this clear away. Takes it over Diego. And Fluster is up for this one. Not going to be the best touch, but actually getting it quite far into the other half. It finds the backboard. 2 players whiffing out. This is the chance for Mages, and the shot comes in. But so does the save for Dehydration. And Mages still looking deadly, but Cardinals are holding up.
Clinical save there. I don't want to call it clinical defense because of the way the 2 players got beat, but Dehydration with that rotation, absolutely crucial for his team. Now this one to the backboard. Dehydration slow to read it. And I'll say so to go for the counter. Actually comes off of Dehydration. And back to the mid for Fluster. Free shot. No one's going to be there, but it hits the backboard instead. Glancing wide, something that Mages have been plagued with a little bit throughout this playoffs and in this series ever so much. This is not the game that they'll want that curse to come back against them. But Say So with the dribble, not Say So, Pure Skill, in fact. My mistake, and this was going to drop across. Hyvis does take a touch, and Fluster stops it! That may have been going in on its own, and he tried to secure it, but it stopped on the line, off the post by Fluster. That is exactly the kind of defense you need. And then Say So pops it off the side wall to give Mages their lead quite late into this game 7. It's kind of starting to fall apart for Cardinals.
Oh my goodness me, that ball was all but in for the Cardinals. There was no way the defender could get back to that one. And Hyvis just slowing it down, that touch. gets Mages the chance to scurry back for the save, and they get the counter-attack, they get the goal, and they take the lead in Game 7. And their chances are very good for this bracket reset, but it is a very fragile lead. They need to be finding more goals. And Pure Skills battling them, taking it over the last defender. And although Hivers might have saved his first one, he's not there to save that one, and it's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, a little too aggressive from that third man. I believe it was Fluster. Not getting to the height of that shot. It's just how easily tables can turn, how it can flip. Pure Skill flipping into this one, puts it into the mid dehydration with a free shot, not quite finding the angle he needs. Diogo popping it up for Seiso to take a touch. Hive is already on him. A little bit advanced for that first man, not recognizing when his team is ready to create that play, and we saw most of that from Mages throughout this series, but Hive is wanting to take that responsibility on his own shoulders. Another miss from Fluster allows Pure Skill to cut into this rotation, and Seiso is less than the third man, but Hive is misses the free chance to take that lead. And that seems to be the way it's been going this game. Just big chances that either side could have been taking, and narrowly wide. I mean, obviously it's tight because they're both great teams, and all 6 of them are great players, but these are the kinds of mistakes you really cannot be making in a situation like this.
Yeah, well, the pressure is definitely on for both teams here. Cardinals know they can be taking this in this game if they just play how they need to. And Mages definitely know that as well, but Cardinals are definitely not going to be wanting to take this to the bracket reset. And Speedy trying to get the clear away. The shot from dehydration, it's still kind of looming in the box. The pinch comes out. Diego getting it clear. Pure Skills kind of needs the boost to challenge that one. It goes over Fluster, but it goes wide. Speedy is there, gets it round Pure Skills, but 2 attackers are there. They find the backboard. Diago gets the clear. Hivers might be centering this for Diago, and it just hits the post into Speedy, and Speedy takes the goal, and the lead is back on the cards for the Mages.
So much happened in this back and forth sequence. Initially, Hivers got bumped, somehow took control of the ball, went back up the field, hit it himself into his own corner, and then Diogo took out that second man, rotating back. I noticed it with Cardinals that they were rotating across a lot of the same lines, and that meant some space was opened up for Mages to exploit. And the boost wasn't quite there. Hivers trying to tie this one up. They've got to do it as soon as possible to give themselves the best chance of avoiding that bracket reset. I mean, that second life is there, but it's kind of like a rose with thorns as Hivers puts this high. Pure Skill attempting to finish it off, and now the third man dehydration has to attempt it as well. Pure Skill pinches this one back across the field, and Hivers has to make perfect touch here to keep it away from Diogo, but instead drops it straight to him. Diogo takes it past the second, tries to get it to his teammate by pinching it off the backboard. Doesn't quite work out in their favour, but as long as it's in this half, Mages are going to find themselves going to a bracket reset, beating Cardinals in a best of 7. It's gone all the way down to the wire, and it is still up. There is still a chance for Cardinals to equalise. It's popped up perfectly for Pure Skill. Doesn't have all that much boost, has to call in dehydration. He keeps it alive somehow, goes to the corner, finds that corner boost, but then cannot find the midfield pass. And Mages have reset the bracket, gone all the way to Game 7, and have forced another best of 7. Oh, we've been here too long, Boopy.
What a game from the Mages, though. The goals they were scoring in that.
Do it depending on who you want to win. But we shall have to see as we are kicked off with the second best of 7 between the Cardinals and the Mages in the Prospect Grand Final. Will we see it end up in a sweep, a 4-0 clean victory for one of these teams, or will it go the exact same way? A slobber knocker, a slugfest, where we see both teams take a game and then go all the way to the end. We shall have to see.
We will have to see. Well, they were asked if they wanted a 5-minute break, and both sides said no.
They had a massive break already.
They've already had a break. It's getting late. They've got to get ready and kind of finish off this grand final. But Mages starting to look on the back foot. The ball looming in the box. Hivers pressuring up, trying to find this mid. Can't find the touch he needs, but fakes out Fluster on the wall. Speedy is there to get this one clear, but Pure Skill instantly just locking them in the half. Fluster gets the touch. The demo coming out. A shot coming in. And it might go in just off the crossbar. Can it get saved away? Oh my god, Hivers just skimmed it. and he knocked it out the goal himself. There's no way that that's happened again to Hyviz.
I mean, initially, that going off the crossbar, I expected it to go in. This was going to drop down for Seiso if he reads it well enough, and he's going to hit it off of Hyviz himself. Little bit of unfortunate touch there for Cardinals. But, I mean, you kind of think they deserved it after the way that they stopped. I'm not sure if actually Fluster got a touch on that ball. It obviously didn't count as a save, but Hyviz ended up missing it on the goal line, something that hurts just that little bit more than any other shot not going in. But they're going to keep going. They're going to keep trying. As Seiso, I think Pure Skill actually gets bumped out there, yeah, in the midfield. Does not get a clean shot away. Tries to drop it down to Dehydration. The pinch goes all the way across the field. It's going to bounce down for Seiso. Reads it well, but so does Hyviz. And they get away with that one. But every time, it seems like Cardinals going back up the field. They don't have much composure in their rotation, and Mages almost always have boosts. They almost have the run of things. Like they've got Cardinals' number, and here, just another shot leveled at the net, and Hyviz cannot stop it.
Yeah, an unfortunate miss from Dehydration there, just opening the opportunity, and Hyviz had one hand on it, trying to push it out, but it just wasn't enough. And the 2-goal lead for Mages, the momentum strongly building for them now. They've taken 2 games in the last best of 7, and they've gone 2 goals up in this first game of the second one, so they're looking very, very strong. And Cardinals still don't have an answer. 3 minutes left for them, and their attacks are starting to shape up as a 3-way passing play from the Cardinals. That's one way to score the first goal and guarantee, well, not guarantee yourself, but get yourself the comeback in game 1.
Oh, perfect placement. Utterly top bins. Could not be further into that right-hand corner. Exactly where they wanted it to go, and as you said, that 3-man passing play. Something that we know the Cardinals for well. Passing together through the lines, keeping it away from their opponent. This one's just dropped to his opponent by Hyviz, and Diogo trying to keep the ball in the midfield to allow his team to rotate. Fluster does get a touch, but it's dropped down straight to Hyviz, and Diogo had just respawned. Thankfully gets back to that one in time. Cardinals have a little bit of stint of offense. Dehydration misses through the corner. And this is where I feel like it falls apart for Cardinals. When that first man play doesn't work, they try to get the ball into the midfield, but then they have to make a very quick decision. Do we send the second man, hope that we get a fortunate 50, or do we sit back and just recycle the entire play, wait for Mages to play out of their goal, and then try and counter on them? Or is that play style just too easy for the Mages to predict, and that's why they're seeing the better of things so far?
Well, Mages have been dealing with it so well, and I guess Cardinals just don't really want to risk anything. They're already a goal down. They don't want to be a second goal down after just scoring their first one off game 1. So they want to kind of keep it a little bit safe, but Hyviz just trying to start the attack once again. It lands at his feet, popping that one up, but only for Diogo. Dehydration with a mistouch. Someone should be up for this from the Mages, but everyone back. The shot coming in. Speedy is there to deal with it. And Diogo finding it round Dehydration into the corner. No boost. He just grabs the boost on the way past. Getting it mid, but his skills is there. He gets the demo, but the passing lane kind of too awkward. And the shot coming in from Dehydration just hitting the post. Diogo once again clearing it away. Pure Skills is going to beat him to it. Going off the ceiling, maybe. Going for the shot. Can't quite find it. But a close, nice mechanical goal. And when mechanics don't work, just demo the keeper out the way and get someone to slot it home. And that's what they've done. They've got the equalizer, and it's 2-2.
It's just hesitation from Seiso there. Sitting under the ball. Had plenty. A boost, a full tank, in fact. But then his teammate just gets demoed out as last man. Great team play there, even though they're not passing to each other. Dehydration going for that third man, and Pure Skill waiting for that shot. Whether or not that's communicated, whether it's instinct, it's clearly effective. It's given them back an equal game. And in the last minute here, because it's so even though we've seen Mages on a bit of a run of form. Now Seiso going up, no one's going to challenge him. He's going for the double tap. He drops it down, but Dehydration somehow pre-jumps that, reads it off the backboard, and prevents the lead, and then goes back up the field and takes it himself. That was exquisite.
What a play from Dehydration. How do you read a double touch like that? And then just instantly pushing up, getting the goal back. getting the lead, and 3-2 to Cardinals in a game where I kind of counted them out. Mages had the 2 goals, and nothing promising was really coming from Cardinals, but they stepped it up in this last minute of play. They've got the lead back, and they just need to hold on to it, but a pass to Fluster. Hivers is there. It's hit the backboard, and just a touchdown to the corner. Fluster is there once again, but too high. Diago trying to drop it down, trying to get a pass. Pure Skills trying to clear it away. Hivers gets a touch on that one, finds it over Speedy. Diago is there.
Last chance.
Finds it over Pure Skills. And like you say, the last chance for Mages just to equalize, but no boost on Fluster. And Cardinals take game 1 after losing the first best of 7. They take game 1. It was very close, but they definitely deserve to take this game.
And suddenly all that momentum that they had built up, I think, was it 2 or 3 games on the bounce after the break? Taking those 2 and then winning the third one, of course, in this first game, obviously the second game of the series. That was
game 1 in this best of 7, especially after the bracket reset has kind of happened against you. You want to gain some sort of momentum back into this next series, and Hivers instantly starting on the attack. Your skills there. Pass to Dehydration and a shot coming in. And these deadly passing plays, we've seen them all night from the Cardinals, and another one finds its way into the back of the net.
And it's just so much more pronounced in Prospect because of the slower pace of the game, because the players don't react to situations as quickly as some of the higher tiers. This passing is so much more deadly, so much more hard to react to and to prevent, because the ball's just so much quicker, and Hivers takes this off the crossbar. Looking for that second. 2 in quick succession will be exactly what they're looking for, but Seiso here gets it over 1. Still has possession of the ball, decides to pinch it across, beats the first man, but there's no one in position to take that shot. And I think maybe Mage is a little bit rocked after that last game. Of course, it was only 1 goal, and they did manage to get back to this, but Seiso, oh my goodness, does it all himself, puts it high, there's no one in the corner to challenge it, takes it off the wall, pre-flips to take a shot, and it just bounces into the back of the net. Tie game.
How do you even score an angle like that? I mean, if you look at the lead up to it, you just don't even see a shot opportunity coming out, but Speedy playing it to perfection, getting the angle, and getting the equalizer as well. The demo attempt coming in, it is found, but gets cleared. The 50 going into the corner, straight to Fluster. Fluster finding it round Hivers, trying to get the touchdown, but only Pure Skills is there. And tried the demo on Diego, but maybe the opening will kind of show itself. Fluster is there to clear it away. The shot coming in, Speedy just scurrying to it. And Pure Skill trying to just get this one away. Fluster is up, finding the side. Trying to find it into the middle. Diego is up, trying to find the backboard, potentially drops it down to Dehydration. And Mages, these attacks just kind of look a little bit lackluster. They definitely don't look like the attacks that we saw coming out in that game 1.
Yeah, it's the same story on defense as well. They find themselves having to scramble back, having to go out of rotation, out of their way to go get boost. That is so necessary because of the way the Cardinals play. And they starve you out. And it goes for those team passes as well. You need boost to be able to react, to change where you are, your positioning rapidly, and that requires a lot of boost to work. Fluster up here, using a lot himself, just missing that ball. Kind of fakes out the first man. Seiso to the backboard. Pure Skill jumps up for it, but Seiso cannot get back to the ball, and Diogo's a little too far back to find anything from it. Pure Skill beats out the first man and beats out the entirety of the Mage's defense to slot this top bins. It's just given too much time, Boopy. I mean, despite that, it was a phenomenal strike, but he should just never get the chance in the first place.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There should be someone up, shutting that one down. But Fluster just a little bit too slow. And lets the opportunity open up for the Cardinals. And they take the lead again in game 2. And Fluster trying to get this one clear. Little bit of a car crash kind of happening, but it does clear its way to Diago. Fluster is there, trying to find it mid, tries to find it to the backboard. Hivers is up, gets the clear. Diago Finding the sidewall. Speedy is there, but can only really pass it back. The demo attempts coming in, but 2 players going for demos, and no one there to really score it. Hyviz getting it around Cluster. Speedy up, trying to get the shot, but again blocked out. And Cardinals are really blocking everything right now, and it's exactly what they need to do. Just block all these chances and keep the lead in their favor.
And because they're so good at it, Mages are having to take a lot of risk in the midfield for very little reward. I've seen so many times they just hit it off the sidewall. Diogo does well here to keep it away from the first man, but just a big double commit because they're not communicating. And although they almost managed to get a bully onto Dehydration there, he clears it out. A free counter for Pure Skill to go for another shot, and that would have gone in if it was on target. No defender got anywhere near that. And Mages just pinned back into their own half. Not able to read what the opponent's doing, but a big double commit does open it up for a 3v1. They just throw away possession. Fluster gets a little bit too quick on that. A little bit too cheeky. And they don't manage to get anything from it. But those are the chances you got to recognize. You have to compose yourself, calm down, realize you've got a little bit of time and utilize it. But they're just rushing everything because they know that it's almost do or die in this situation. Cardinals with so much momentum on their side, so much wind at their back, and their defense is holding strong all the time. The aerial game is so much better than Mages right now, and they can't seem to find a way to break them down.
They cannot indeed, but Cardinals just keep fighting on. Another goal from Dehydration. And just no defense left at the back to deal with this. Fluster going for the boost. Didn't see the shot opportunity coming in. And 3-1 now to Cardinals. Only 30 seconds left for Mages to really fight back into this game. And it doesn't look promising. Nothing they've really done so far has really threatened the defense of Cardinals. And they just keep scoring. Another shot from Hyviz just wide. Dehydration is there to receive it. Goes for the 50. Speedy is up, bouncing off the sidewall. Diego can't find a touch. Hyviz is there. The shot comes in. And the 4th goal on the board for Cardinals. 4-1 in game number 2.
It's just a little sad to see for Mages because obviously they brought it to 1 goal in the last game. They've kept it close the entire first series. And now Cardinals just seem to keep going through the gears every single game. But Fluster does a bounce shot, doesn't get anything on target, but Diogo does come back. And we see a scoreline all that quite familiar to us, in fact, 4-2. I've seen it before, and they just seem to get consolation goals when it doesn't matter. The offense starts to ramp up, and Cardinals are just happy to sit back because they know it's pretty much over. That can be a bit dangerous, as goals can come very quickly. But as the games go on, and the scorelines get bigger and bigger, it just starts to make me feel like Mages pulled out all their tricks and they used all their energy in that first series just in order to beat Cardinals once. And it had to go to a game 7. It had to go down to the wire in a 1-goal game in the end. So do we just feel that they've run out of enough stuff, enough energy to beat this Cardinals side of it? Are they just starting to slow down a bit and Cardinals have found some rhythm, some form?
Yeah, it definitely does look like it. And Cardinals really stepping up to the plate. In the last series, they never really took a 2-game lead.
It would be a boon for them. It's a big risk, but I mean, at this point, a risk is exactly what you need. And I think doing it in the 3rd game is important as well. Not doing it when you're on match point. Maestro, first test, does stop it on the line. That's exactly the start you want to make as a sub coming into the grand final after your team has just bracket reset and lost 2 games on the bounce. Big save there.
Well, we were questioning whether he was going to make a difference, but he has done already keeping one out from the Cardinals. And the Mages may have a little bit to their attack, just finding the crossbar and the pinch on target. Speedy, just too speedy, and it gets back to it. They're not going to let that happen. They let it in the last series, but no, not in this one, Vector.
They may have learned their lesson at this point. 2 have come in quick succession, and Cardinals will look for more as long as they can take them. Dehydration with a quick shot. Diogo's perfectly equal to it. Pure Skill misses the ball. Hyviz with a pinch, but his teammates already rotated out, and there seems to be a lot of that. Our first man missing, and then everyone's just like, what do we do now? Everything breaks down as soon as one player misses the ball because they're so regimented, because they're so disciplined in the way that they play in this prospect here. They're expecting something to happen, and if it doesn't happen, and they kind of get confused and flounder about a little bit. Say so, not floundering whatsoever. Gets a nice couple dunks on his opponent. Diogo takes it through the corner, doesn't have much, but Hyvis jumps off the backboard and no one's going to be there for Mages. Cardinals having to double commit, expecting a much quicker attack than that. Yeah, it seems like maybe Cardinals will slow down a bit, waiting to see what Maestro's going to do, and exactly what he does is get a 15 to that midfield for Diogo to finish off. This is the start they wanted, Boopy.
Yeah, this is a promising start for the Mages. They get one on the board, and Cardinals have had a lot of chances, but a lot of them being cleared away, and Maestro kind of getting a lot of saves already in this game and stopping the attacks kind of raining in, and it might be a second one. Maestro up, but just gets cleared by Hyves. Dehydration with the 50, gonna land in Pure Skill's hands. Diogo is up, but the 50 heavily going in the favor of Cardinals, but cleared away. And Dehydration finding the backboard. It's undefended. He's gonna f it up, and the first goal coming in this game from Cardinals. And just again, no one on the backboard, no one there to deal with it. And a little bit of sloppy defense from the Mages.
Watching back Diogo's perspective in that replay, only 12 boosts to his name. There were pads around him, but he didn't have time to react. Certainly didn't have time to get to the backboard, and just forced into a 50 that does not go his way, but he's going up the field, missing the ball again. Seiso has to rotate, expecting Maestro to go for that. We said Hyves slams it across the field, and now they rotate back out. Pure Skill not wanting to let them breathe for a moment. Diogo gets this pass down to him by Maestro. It's a 1v1. It's a battle to reach the ball quicker. Thankfully for Cardinals, Hyves does get to it and then gets a touch of his own up the field. But it seemed, yeah, when we're talking about Cardinals going for those 2 touches when they went up for the aerial and then went back to the ball again to try and prevent the second touch, they're starting to falter on that front a little bit, and it's giving Mages more possession than they were expecting to have. And because of that, their playstyle's changed ever so slightly, playing for more dunks, trying to play close with the ball instead. But it's going quite evenly so far.
Yeah, it definitely is. Hyves getting another save, 50ing Maestro as well. And he's going to starve out Speedy. Speedy, not much boost, but gets the touch anyway, just to Pure Skills. Dunk comes in from Diogo. 2 players from the Mages up. Hyves just getting the pass off to Maestro. Maestro trying to take it mid himself, gets the bump. Can Diego finish it off? It's blocked yet again. Hyves beating out Speedy there. Pure Skill going to be wanting to clear this one away. Diogo up so early for that one. But quite easy to take it round him. Hyves can only get the demo, but it lands for Dehydration. The shot comes in. Dehydration with a follow-up. Maestro just passing that one off to Pure Skills. Finding the backboard down to Dehydration. Maestro getting it cleared away. Hyves needs to clear this one away, but he's faltered at the last hurdle. And he's pretty much put it into his own net. I'm not really sure what happened there, Vector, but he must have just panicked.
I don't think he expected it to hit the ceiling as quickly as it did, and the way that it came back down. He had plenty of boost. Could have gone up for the aerial sooner, just did not read the trajectory of the ball. And the worst possible situation occurred, scoring an own goal when it could have easily been prevented. Also with the pressure getting to him, obviously the fatigue to counter in. Must be a very tired player right now, as most of the players on this pitch. So mistakes like that can start to happen in these situations where you've got to be clutch, you've got to be on top of your game the whole time. And Maestro, shot of his own. Hyves just keep this one out, and Diogo comes knocking once again, but is stopped at the line. They'll not be too frustrated by these misses, as they are in the lead with 20 seconds to go with possession. Hyves looking for the bump, and then he gets 50'd out. It's Pure Skill with a free shot. It's back off the corner, and Maestro stopping that in its tracks, giving him his saviour award. 3 stops for him, the super sub, top of the team, brought in to do exactly what he's doing right now, and doing it diligently. As Diogo with a shot will go wide, Hyves clears it out, and as it hits the floor, Mages will take a game, the exact comeback they were looking for, and it's not quite back and forth as it was in the first series, but it's still tight as ever, and I mean, this is what we're expecting to see, but are we looking at another Game 7 here, Boopy?
I think we have to be. Mages finally making a mark on this series, but Maestro coming in and being the sub, doing a lot for this Mages side, getting 3 saves and 3 really crucial ones. And
But Cardinals, obviously, losing that first series might have dented their confidence a little bit, and now losing the opportunity of a sweep might affect them somewhat, but Mages as well. Under a lot of pressure and dehydration, just barrels this through. I do not know what was happening on that front post, Boopy, but it's ended up in a Cardinals lead.
wow, an absolute pain train for Mages. Dehydration just 50ing it all the way off the post, into a defender and into the goal. And a really, really early goal for the Cardinals. Only kind of 9 seconds in, they already have their first one. And that has to be kind of confidence booster for the superstar.
Oh no! Oh no!
Definitely is not Vector.
As soon as this pinch happened, I was like, ooh, that could be dangerous. Hyvius goes up. Oh, clear it. Oh no! Another own goal. So, I mean, much better than the first one, you've got to admit. It's quite a strike, quite a cherry picker, but for the wrong side. And you can clearly see it starting to affect his mechanics now. He is exhausted. And it is starting to affect their results and their chances of winning this. Because more mistakes like that, I mean, mistakes are bad enough on their own, but then when they lead directly to a goal, when your team has no idea that it's going to happen, they start to think, can I trust you? Am I going to have to double commit for every aerial? You know, these things start to happen, and when a tired mind thinks about them, they can start to hurt, but dehydration, completely composed, doing it again, all on his own, a complete solo goal, flicks it over 1, flicks it over 2. Pretty as you like, Boopy.
Very, very pretty from dehydration and very sloppy from the Mages. There should be someone a little bit closer to deal with that flick. As soon as it's flicked, you want someone challenging that, just kind of knocking it out of the hands of dehydration. But he had so much time. That flick went so high, but he still had the time to catch it again and take it around the last defender. And although the own goal did come in, they have got the lead back once again and still prowling on the edge of the box. Diego just hitting that one down to dehydration. He couldn't find the touch. Maestro going for the 50, landing in the hands of Speedy, but a pinch again off the sidewall. Maestro is there. Pops it up.
The power on that.
Up. But Hyvis gets the save. Pure skills trying to find it all the way himself. The 50 coming through. Dehydration there, finding it off one of the defenders' cars into the mid. Hyvis is there, again blocked by Maestro. Pure skills to Hyvis, and these are the passing plays we want to see, but again, nothing found. And we haven't seen many passing goals from the Cardinals so far. They kind of need to play a little bit more actively, get back into their kind of own style of playing and get these attacks kind of coming through.
Yeah, I thought that it was breaking down a little bit and they were going for more solo plays because, I mean, we keep harping on about it, but it is such a big factor, you have to say. Being so tired after playing so much Rocket League for so long, especially for prospect players. It's a pinch across, pure skill just about takes it off his backboard to prevent that equalizer. But it just gets worse and worse every single minute, every single second. You have to play at the highest level that you've played in the grand final against the best team, arguably, that you could be facing. And this one's popped to the midfield. The hydration does pancake it and drops it down. And Pure Skill comes to finish it off. I think they pinched it between one another to slot that one away. Massive pinch there. And a great catch by Dehydration. Completely throws off the defense. They stopped it dead on that crossbar, and it's given them a 2-goal lead. And I was talking about fatigue being the issue. Cardinals are doing so well to combat that, but Mages, I mean, it feels like both sides have been getting away with a lot. There's been a lot of mistakes that really just shouldn't happen, like this one. Say so with a great shot on the crossbar. Didn't quite manage to go in, but it seems like Cardinals got away with the most of them so far. And somehow, Dehydration has took that to his own post. That was pretty much already over the line. And he somehow maintained this lead.
It looked like it was fully black. It looked fully in the back of the net, and no way is Cardinals going to score again. after that one. And wow, Mages pretty much having a goal, but just not enough power. And they couldn't get their hands on that one and keep it out. And 4-1 now for Cardinals. And match point is definitely looming for them. It's only a few minutes away, Vector. And Mages have 3 goals to find.
Yeah, the panic defense really isn't helping, and they're having to go for solo plays like this. Maestro, 1v3. It's not going to work. Diogo just leveling this down. I mean, they're trying to find anything that they can. They're scrounging for opportunities, and this one's back off the corner. Pure skill misses a big open net for the 5th goal. Whether or not that comes into play, whether that has an influence on the result of this game, she'll have to see. But you've got to take all the chances that you can get when they come, Boopy, because, I mean, as we've seen throughout this series, it's been tight as it possibly can. Razor thin margins, and every single time you don't take a chance, it's one that you beg, that you wish you could get back, and that's definitely what Cardinals have been doing after that miss.
Yeah, definitely. A demo on the line, almost opening up the chance, but not quite. Hive is up, can't find the touch, the shot doesn't come through. Maestro trying to take it around Pure Skills into Diago. Diago, a little bit of a touch, just using the space he has, but can't find the touch to Speedy. Definitely a chance for them again. Speedy can't find the touch. The bump coming through, but they fumble on the goal line, but Speedy just taking too long. He's called Speedy, but he wasn't quick enough on that one. Couldn't find it in the back of the net. And 30 seconds left. It definitely feels like this match point is looming. And there's definitely not enough time for the comeback. Or and maybe, but they've got to be quick with it. Maestro can't find it round Pure Skill. Diago just trying to keep that attack alive. They have to. But another shot coming in. And it looks like it's going to be a 3-1 score to the side of the Cardinals. They find another one, put the 5th one on the board for them. And they still have momentum going into the next game.
Yeah, and this is almost a backbreaker, a dagger to what Mages has been attempting to accomplish in this series, trying to come back from the brink. I need to get that bracket reset, but as I said, potentially might have been just too much for them to handle Cardinals in 2 best-of-7 series. Now going to 3-1. It's going to be so much harder. Every single game, as you said, looming, hanging over you, the sword of Damocles, waiting to drop and slice off your head, as the Templars do. That's exactly what Cardinals are looking for, and this is such a strange result to see in a situation like this. Obviously,
from Mages, and straight into the next game, and it's match point for Cardinals. Mages need to pull something out the bag, or they're going to be going home after the bracket reset, and they're going to be absolutely devastated.
Mages needing to cast some dark magic, and they're going to start with a shot from Diogo. Passed into the mid by Say-So. We've seen this link up quite a few times, and it's just a lack of possession from Cardinals. They're not getting out of their spaces, getting trapped on their goal line, and allowing too much of an opportunity for Mages to take a pop at. And an early goal, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they needed. Going into this, as you said, match point situation, every goal, that guillotine gets closer and closer, Boopy, so I'm just wondering how they can handle it. Obviously, Cardinals don't like being behind. They're used to being the top dogs. Being in front, and it's suited them well so far. But every time Mages score, it's just one more notch on the belt, and just wondering if they can handle it just as much as Mages can as well.
Yeah, definitely, and Cardinals still trying to kind of put some attacks together. Good skills, getting the clear away over Maestro. Speedy is there. And a little bit of a pass to Dehydration, but he gets the 50 off the ceiling. Might just go in itself. And just scrambled away. Pure Skills can't find the touch. He fakes out Diago. Ivers is there, finds it to the corner. Speedy there to just keep it there. Pure Skills finding the backboard. Straight to Dehydration. The shot comes in. Diago gets the save. Maestro is there and no one to defend. Might be an open net for him. He just takes it over one defender. And takes it into the back of the net.
That's perfect dribbling from Maestro. Takes it down, knows he's got time, it may have been communicated to him that he had that much space, but just takes it in the dribble and then turns around to figure out who he has to beat. And then Maestro off the kick off, pure skill, just about keeps it away to prevent that 3-0 lead. But this is what Mages start to do when they get that rhythm, when they get that control. They consolidate it, they keep you penned in, and Diogo attempting another one here. It's using a lot of boost for Cardinals to fight against this, but sometimes Mages just step off the pedal a little bit and they allow their opponents to breathe, and I think that's giving them too much credit. It's giving them too much respect. Cardinals tend to take that in their play style, but right now they're not getting much luck.
They definitely are not. The second one on the board for the Mages. The Cardinals still have no answer. 3 minutes left though, and they are on match point. They have some sort of momentum, but the shot blocked away. Dehydration, trying to find that one, but faked out by Speedy. Into pure skills, the 50 comes through. Speedy just missing out on that boost. He has enough to work with, goes to the 50. And again, just past the post. Dehydration, trying to start an attack going. Maestro again there to block it. Ivers throwing it on target. Thiago getting the clear. And starting an attack of his own, and it might bounce in. And quite an unfortunate one to concede for the Cardinals, but the third one is on the board for the Mages.
And another one of those crazy angles. We saw a very similar goal from Seiso. I think it was in the last series. This time it comes from a pinch through the corner. Diogo stepping up once again, getting his brace for this Mages side. And hoping to continue this good run of form. Of course, we have seen this before, when Mages have dominated a single game and then Cardinals have come back and done it the exact opposite way. A 1v1 for Dehydration to deal with. It eventually ended up in a 2v2. Just get enough on that board to prevent a quick strike. 2 players miss, and Cardinals, Dehydration have to save them once again, going on a solo play. Loses all his momentum as he lands. But Pure Skill pops this across to the midfield. Maestro takes that boost, does not get it in time, almost gets back to that ball as it was popped up in front of him. If he knew that was coming, that could have been a crazy looking goal to give them 4. Cardinals just getting penned in all the time. It's so strange to see that this isn't what Mages are always doing to them. It's like they figure out what Cardinals are doing to break out, and then just stop doing it in the next game. And I don't understand why it's so back and forth, why it's so flip-floppy, because both sides seem to have the pedigree and the knowledge and the understanding of their opponent in order to beat them. They just keep switching sides.
Yeah, they definitely kind of going game for game and kind of winning one, losing one. And Pure Skills is going to get one back, and what a powerful shot from him. Just rushing past the back post there, leaving an opening, and Pure Skill finding it. One on the board for them. And a minute left. The comeback is definitely still on the cards, but they need to kind of bring out some passing plays, bring out these attacks, and get something going.
I would say that was a clever strike rifled across to the back post, knowing that Seiso was looking towards the front, but it was straight at him, and it only just went over him. That one almost rolls into the net. Thankfully, Diogo gets it away. Trips it straight back down again to Pure Skill. They're looking for the passes, Mages, but they're never quite in the right place for it. It's just a little bit off. They've got the better of things in this game, but I think that is what the difference made between them and Cardinals, why they lost the first couple games in this series, and of course lost the one that took them to this match point, was because they just weren't passing nearly as accurately as Cardinals here. They almost find another high vis striking, just lets him down a little, and Dehydration pre-flips to get Seiso a shot. He just about redeems himself for that mistake, but it might not matter anyway. There's just 5 seconds left for Cardinals to go all the way up the field, score, and then do it again. This one is going to end up wide. And I think even if it went in, they wouldn't have had time on the kickoff to get that equalizer. So Mages, glad they took the chances that they did. Getting that 2-goal lead, very, very important against the sides such as Cardinals, who always have the opportunity to come back. And once again, we see ourselves in a very close situation, going to Game 6. Can they keep up this momentum? I don't know if Mages have actually they must have won 2 games on the bounce during these 2 best-of-7s at some point. I think circumstances, we didn't have the best of opportunities, everything going wrong, and it affected our mental and whatnot. But they're good enough to do this. They have the ability. It is just, I think, believing in themselves, maintaining that confidence, maintaining that pressure, making sure that your opponent knows you have no respect for them, keep them penned in, stop them at every single avenue, match them stride for stride, and attempt to stop them, but this one is not stopped whatsoever. Pure Skill comes flying in to finish off this goal. I think it was set up by Hyvis, and then, yeah, he bumped out Maestro, head of the front post, and expecting a high shot, jumps up, goes under him. Cardinals take this lead, exactly what Mages did not want to be staring down.
Maestro could have almost got to that one, even despite the bump, but it's so difficult to do. And just slotting it home past him, and another one coming in. Speedy getting the save. Hyvis up, beats him out, finds the backboard. Pure Skills up, just finds it into Maestro. Maestro with the save. And Diego with the 50. Needs to find this mid now. He kind of leaves it there. Dehydration is there. Can't find the next touch. Speedy finding it round him, but just straight to Pure Skills. Maestro is there to block it out. Can't get the bump on Hyvis, and it goes clear. Speedy finding the backboard. This is going to bounce down. They need to clear out. Pure Skills finding it over one, but Maestro there. Hyvis, again, just a touch out. And these clears coming out from Cardinals, they just kind of pop it out into the offense. And they're not really able to get it clear unless Mages really make a mistake.
Yeah, it's hit and hope, obviously, when they get enough power on it and they can send it over that front line that the Mages establish. Things work out, but Hyvis with a quick snapshot coming out of that red corner puts this above both defenders, taking that 2-goal lead. And this is just the mispositioning from Mages. They aren't ready for when the ball pinches awkwardly or rapidly from one side of the field to the next, because they're always expecting the ball to be played close to where they're already at. And especially if they're in mid-rotation and they don't quite have the boost necessary, they just leave themselves vulnerable. Say so. Looking for something crazy there. Had the double tap chance, puts it just narrowly wide. Nice pass back. Does allow something, but just throws away possession. Dehydration having to pick this one up. It does pop across, and Pure Skill gets beaten by Diogo. Luckily, Hyvis was back as that third man. Diogo, free shot here. Could put it past Hyvis off the post. Puts it behind the defender. And that's the passing play we like to see, Boopy.
Yeah, they had multiple in that kind of passage of play just behind Hyvis. Could have got to it, but didn't expect the perfect placement coming in from Diago. And they get one on the board for themselves. They only have one more to find. And they need to just keep up this form. Blocks out the shot from Dehydration. Pure Skill still knocking at the door, finding the post. And Speedy gets it cleared away. Diago around the last defender to Speedy. Hyvis quick on his feet, but Pure Skills gets bumped out. Dehydration there. Just passing it out. Pure Skill there, but not much boost. Can't find the shot. And again, it's just the passing out to the offense. They need to kind of make sure they're passing it to the teammates that can get a shot on target. I guess they were looking for Pure Skill in that situation, but he must have been coming, he had no boost. And they just keep passing the possession away.
It's unfortunate to see, because obviously they clear it, hit and hope sometimes. Expecting a teammate to be there. If that isn't calmed, of course, if someone goes for rotation and one of them doesn't notice, that leaves so much space for them to work with. And they sit back quite a bit as third men. Both sides. They don't want to risk too much going up to that midfield line. Ready for the clearance for Hyvis. Cleaning out one, that gets bumped. No opportunity for the double tap. Leaves it for Dehydration, who then leaves it for his third man, who gets demoed out. And Maestro takes control of the ball, himself gets demoed. Getting quite physical. Not quite a destruction derby so far. But if it starts to devolve into that kind of play, I'm really not sure which side it would favour. Probably Mages. They get a chance through the midfield. Looking for that passing once again, but almost every time. Backboard's not. Oh, luckily for Pure Skill, Diogo didn't read that backboard. Could have had a big one there, Doopy.
Definitely could, and Hyvis is going to put it past the last defender. Get another one on the board for his team. And 3-1 for Cardinals. It was a close chance for Mages. They just didn't read it. And Speedy couldn't get the boost, couldn't get the clear. And another goal for Cardinals. They make it 3-1. They get that cushion lead and only a minute and a half left. And they might be finding another one. Maestro just getting the save. But these attacks need to start coming in. A mistouch from Highviz. Pure Skill is up. Maestro finding it to the backboards. Diago is up. Just finds it round them and it might bounce in. It does. And Mages get one back only just round the defenders. And everyone was there. He almost got demoed out. But just under dehydration round the post. And 3-2 still for Cardinals.
Now, based on my reaction to that goal, people might have thought that I'm rooting for the Mages here. But honestly, I'm completely impartial. There is no bias. I just like when things get as close as they possibly can. I want a Game 7. So does Dioga. Trying to put that one away. Seiso's come in. Backboard again. Maestro cannot find the pace to beat dehydration. And so many chances spurned for Mages this game. Fewer shots, of course, than Cardinals. Being ever so slightly more clinical, relatively. They've been pending so much, and then when Cardinals park the bus, they get defensive. This is going to go off the backboard. Maestro got bumped out, and Pure Skill able to rotate in time. So does well, keeps this one under control, and slows the game down. That's very clever, but doesn't quite find the flick necessary to beat the first man. Still with possession. Dioga not with the best touch. Does draw out one defender, doesn't have the boost to follow it. And Maestro can't quite get this to his third man. It does manage to rotate through, but every single time there is someone on that front post for Cardinals. They are ready, and every single time that chance is missed, time is wasted as we go down to the 10-second mark. Pure Skill in the corner, misses it out. Maestro pops it across. Seiso cuts. They've got to throw everything into the offense now. It is do or die. This one's leveled back to Maestro. He takes control of it. The next time it hits the ground, Dehydration is just going to leave it. And that will be the end of your Prospect Grand Finals as the Cardinals take it 4-2. Congratulations to them. Commiserations to Mages. They fought so hard. I can't believe it, Whoopi.
I can't believe it's over. It's finally over. We've seen so many unfortunate goals.
Yeah, okay, it is.
It is over. It is over.
I thought I'd lost track of the series, Scott.
Not quite, not quite. So many unfortunate goals in that series. So many pinches, giving me a heart attack. I presume giving you as well. But Cardinals come out on top. They lose the first best of 7, but they take it in the second one. And I do believe we have a few players to interview, Vector.
Yeah, possibly. Highviz, Pure Skill, and Dehydration. The 3 champions of Prospect this season. The fort is not toppled. For all you Fort Templar fans out there, the Templars have beaten the Dark Magic Mages. And what a way to do it. Coming back, I think proving their doubt was wrong, especially after that first series and the way that we had that long break. It just seemed like it was going to be one that could have gone either way. And Mages fought valiantly. They did so well in the games that they won, and even the ones that they lost. They almost always look like a threat, and they look like the opportunity to come back. But the fact that it didn't go to a Game 7, I think just about proves that Cardinals had the edge today for the majority of the games in the series. So, yeah, great performance from them, and I'd love to get them in, of course, and Friday possibly, if we can, the GM of Fort Templar getting a team in his franchise through the Prospect playoffs to this grand final and winning it all the way. And I can't wait to see what we've got in store for the rest of the tiers as well. But we do have 3 players on the Cardinals, the champions of the Prospect Grand Finals in Season 8. Highviz, Pure Skill, Dehydration, of course, Friday himself, the GM. And I'm just going to level a question at all 4 of you. How are you feeling after that 2 brackets, 2 best of 7, the bracket reset? Donald, talk.
Anyone there? Anyone take away? Do you want me to? Well, all I have to say is I have a heart in my mouth for that entire series, but they showed grit and determination all the way through, and really deserved one in the end after a fantastic season.
Absolutely, it's been phenomenal to watch them to rise through the ranks, to be so strong. They had trouble towards the start of the season in.
I hope you know that you are on my mind. Promise I'ma waste no time. caught up in the matrix. Have to keep waiting.